So those are my 5 tips. What about gear? Like I feel that like gear is kind of a big deal and a lot of questions arise, especially when you're advancing your photography. So there are a few specific things. I'd say there's 5 things that I've taken really into account that have improved my photography, I don't know, in a creative way, right? I have a general rule that while gear is always fun to get, it does cost a lot of money. And the rule is generally like, I don't buy the new fancy thing unless I feel like I absolutely need it to push my creativeness, I guess. Like if you have a camera and you have lenses and you feel like that camera and those lenses are holding you back from achieving exactly what you're trying to do, sure, then I think it's time to advance and put money into what you're trying to do. A really good example of that is if you've started out in photography and you've sort of bought a little less expensive of like a camera, the ISO isn't as good, it may not be full frame, or maybe, just a little slower than a fast camera would, and you're starting to get like weddings, you're starting to get like bigger clients. You need to be able to nail those things when you're out working and being creative. Or like lenses, right? You want to be shooting sports, but you only have a kit lens. Well, probably time to get a longer lens in order to advance your photography. So let's talk about these 5 things that I think are kind of base level things that you can probably go from beginner to advanced. You'd probably need these things to get going. Number 1, prime lenses. Prime lenses are huge. I think prime lenses specifically if you're trying to do portraits more than anything, but also if you're just trying to automatically create that sort of professional look, right? Our aesthetic for professional look tends to be a lot of things out of focus and very little in focus. And then also compression, right? We think about your mobile camera, the normal camera, not the like portrait version, the normal camera or like a GoPro, an action camera, or a disposable camera. All those things have a lot of things in focus, right? And so they don't look as professional as we think as our aesthetic does. So to advance your photography on your mobile camera, on your mobile phone, you would probably go to portrait mode, right? And that portrait mode is mimicking what prime lenses tend to do. And that is very little in focus and a lot out of focus. And typically that means the human face in focus and everything in the background out of focus. It also compresses, right? I don't think portrait mode on mobile phones have really gotten the compression down as well as they've gotten the in focus, out of focus thing out. But let's look at these examples of prime lenses, right? These 3 photos right here are all shot on an 85 millimeter at various levels of camera equipment. And you can see that in the photo on the left, the background's out of focus. This is a great LinkedIn shot. The photo on the right has a really nice fall off with focus, and you can see how the background is really fuzzy. The photo in the center of the couple does the same thing as the other 2, but it also compresses everything. You can see how far away I am, but it also feels like the trees are sort of closer in a sense. And it just has like this nice sharp feeling where they are and this fall off into the background. And that looks really aesthetically beautiful. And this is a really good way to advance your photography, right? Ditch the kit lens and go to a prime lens, something like a 35, a 50, an 85, 100. We're going to talk all about that stuff as we get into specifics and genres of photography, but think about upgrading to a prime lens. A small camera. Now I know, I said earlier, if you're trying to advance in photography, you need to get the next biggest camera. But sometimes it doesn't mean it needs to be a giant behemoth DSLR, Nikon, whatever. It can be a small mirrorless camera that you feel comfortable and fast with. And that allows for really great street photography, really great photojournalism when you're out in an event or at a wedding or something like that. For example, this shot, these 2 girls I was just talking to, and I had my camera down at my hip and I was able just to take the photo. I was able to get a lot of this emotion across. They were none the wiser, and it really has upped my photojournalistic street photography in a way. And I actually, when I shoot weddings, I always have a smaller camera that I take around with me, not just the big one with the big long lens. A lot of times when you have a giant camera with a big lens or a big flash, it kind of freaks people out. And so you lose some of the emotion. People might clam up or they might act differently. If you have a smaller camera, you will be able to get that emotion without freaking them out right away. I mean, if you're in their face, it might be tough, but just casually taking a photo, you'll get a lot more emotion. So thinking about having a small camera is a really good way to up your game. Now it's a balance, right? Because not all small cameras are fast enough for other things. So you kind of have to find the camera that will work for you. It's part of the reason why I would be positive about mirrorless cameras. High megapixels. Yeah. I mean, I know it's kind of silly to think about high megapixels, and I'm not like a big fan of being like, oh, we'll just reframe it later, but it can be helpful, especially when you're shooting landscapes or you're not able to get close enough. Having a high megapixel camera is going to help you advance your photography in so many ways. One, you can crop in, and two, you'll be able to deliver a more high-res image depending on what your clients want, right? If you need to make a big print for someone, if you need to make a book for someone, you're gonna want the higher megapixels potentially. And you can see right here in this image, this is a nice, really beautiful landscape photo, but you can punch in so much more and fill out a frame with a high megapixel camera. This will advance your photography in the sense of you'll have more range to do what you would like to do. And I think that's a sense with all these things, right? Having more range and pushing what you're already capable of doing. I'd say most cameras at this point, you can print pretty big. Even your mobile phones print pretty well if that's your end game, but having more megapixels is just going to allow more of that. Mirrorless cameras and straps. This is a photo of me with my XT2s when I was shooting a wedding. And originally I was taking photos, especially weddings, with bigger DSLRs, right? Like I had a Nikon D800 and then I would rent like a D700 and I'd be shooting 10 to 12 hours a day with these big hefty cameras. I switched down to a crop sensor camera, a mirrorless cameras, because A, they were just lighter, they were cheaper, I could afford the lenses better, and then I was able to basically blend in with the guests more. Same thing goes for these straps, right? Having dual camera straps where I can have a long lens and then a short lens really allows me to be quick at events. So the guests aren't waiting around or the couple's not waiting around for me to change lenses. Having dual cameras with straps and mirrorless really, really changed my wedding photography. I think I'm able to cover much, much more without participating and disrupting what's happening in front of me. And I think that's the key, right? The mirrorless cameras, the dual camera strapped, multiple cameras really allowed me to not disrupt what was going on, right? It's like you're in the wildlife and you don't want to like mess with the animals. You just want to have the tools and shoot and capture that moment, because all it's about is being able to capture that moment with the tools you got. That being said, I ended up having to upgrade my mirrorless cameras to a different camera system because they weren't fast enough. But I started down that mirrorless path with those Fujis. I think now thinking about running a big DSLR, a big camera now with everything I do just seems outrageous to me. So thinking about upgrading a camera that's mirrorless, I think it's great. I'm a big person. I think other people might say different if they're doing different things, but for general photography, having a mirrorless camera, I think will help advance your photography. And thinking about having straps that look nice, that are professional, where you could have two cameras, or even having just any camera strap that looks nice will make you appear more professional, and it will also let you blend in with your subjects, and so they don't know that you're out there trying to get their photos, which I think is fun.